Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to the Wild West Racing League, WYO Outlaw Custom Diecast Gen 4 series, sponsored by the WYO Outlaw Custom Diecast, and also sponsored by Redline Radio. Redline Radio podcast on Spotify. Trey Smith. Today we are doing 80 laps at Auto Club Speedway. It's the 8th race of the season, 8th race of 17, so almost halfway into the season. As we get ready to go racing tonight, we'll be here at this 2-mile, really super speedway. Temperature on the track's 137 degrees, making it extremely slick. Altitude's 1,100 feet. It's the foothills of the high desert, Fontana, California. Weather outside is 79 degrees, 0% chance of precipitation, clear skies, and a slight breeze of only 1 mile an hour. So we are here practicing. Let's see if we can get some of the drivers in and talk to them. Let's see if we can get Dakota Henderson. Hey, Dakota Henderson, Barry Stevens in the broadcast booth. You got me.
Yes, sir. How's it going this evening?
It's going great. Dakota, while you're out here practicing out on the track, how's your car doing and how are you doing?
Car's doing pretty good. It's definitely got me on my nerves, so me, not so much, but I'll have to work with it and get her did.
Now, we know the track is slick today. Temperatures are over 135 degrees, 137 degrees track temperature. I'm sure that's going to play a factor in today's race, right?
Oh, it's definitely going to play a factor, but that's all right. I'm going to get me some. I got me an egg to boil on the racetrack, and we'll just suck it up and do the best we can.
All right, brother. Good luck out there, and put you back up to the driver's meeting. That's Dakota Henderson, number 5, Chevrolet. All right. Let's see. Let's try to reach, let's see, Mike Presley. Let's go to Mike Presley. Hey, Mike Presley, Barry Stevens in the broadcast booth. You got me.
Hey, I got you, Mr. Stevens. You doing okay?
I'm doing great, Mike. How are you doing today, and how is the car doing?
Well, I'm doing okay. I'm still trying to figure this track out. It's tricky. I just going. The whole idea is to save some tires, as much as possible to get to the end. There's going to be a lot of slipping and sliding going on. What I'm seeing in practice.
Absolutely. Track temperatures are very warm here today at 137 degrees, and that is going to take its toll on your tires and your equipment. It's something you're going to have to save throughout the day, I'm sure.
Yeah. There's no doubt about that. It's a patience game. Get to the end, and hopefully, we can get in the top 5 somewhere.
Absolutely. Well, Mike Presley, thanks for taking the time to speak with us, and up here in the broadcast booth, we'll move you back over to the driver's meeting.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. So that was Mike Presley. Let's see, maybe time for one more. Michael Lovelace. Hey, Michael Lovelace, Barry Stevens in the broadcast booth. You got me.
Hey, Barry.
How you doing today, and how is your car?
Little loose, but I like it loose, so we'll ride with that and see what we got tonight.
You have a game plan for this race, and are you going to try and stick to it?
Life's always improvising, so things will always be subjective to change.
Absolutely. We are getting ready to qualify, so I will let you go back up to the driver's meeting. But thank you so much, Michael, for taking the time to speak with us up here in the broadcast booth.
Most certainly. Thank you.
Thank you. That's Michael Lovelace in the 68 machine. And we are now qualifying. And it looks like James Napier is on the track. Now that is not a view that we want to look at tonight, so we're going to just take that and do something like this. I am so sorry for that in-car camera. We won't be having in-car cameras tonight, folks. So we are watching James Napier in the 77 as he is doing his qualifying lap, and we see how loose this car really is coming around as he was just exiting 4 there, getting ready for his first lap here. Looks like he's taking the middle of the track. There's really about 3 lanes here. You've got the bottom, middle, and the top. And depending upon what you're looking for, you can gain a lot of speed on the top, save your tires quite a bit on the bottom, and the middle is just kind of a I guess in the middle of both of those. You can be tight or you could be loose, just depending upon how you drive the car. But today with these hot temperatures, we're going to really see these cars move around all afternoon. We see James Napier on his first lap moved to the top of the leaderboard with a 41.79. Hunter Sr. was right behind him with a 41.93 on his first lap. Trey Smith was 42.01. So we see James Napier coming around, and he gets very loose. Oh, and he will not get a second lap. That is just... Let's see if we can find James Napier and bring him into the broadcast booth. Hey, James Napier, Barry Stevens in the broadcast booth. You got me.
Yes, sir.
Saw that qual run, and you had a very, very fast first lap. What happened there on exit of turn 4 coming to the checkered?
I just got loose coming off that turn, it looks like, I guess.
Yeah, it's don't know if you had the speed that you had in the first lap or not, but your first lap was a heater for sure, putting you in 4th right now. You ran that lap at 41.79. You ready for them here this afternoon?
Oh, yeah, I feel like I got a good long run car. We'll see what she's got.
All right. James Napier in the 77 machine. We'll move you back up to the driver's meeting, and I hope you have a great race today, James.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you. All right. There's Keith Ayers in the 19, saying 28, I think, on his hood. He's being scored as the 19 car. His lap was 41.72. So let's speak with Keith Ayers from Ayersmore Racing. Hey, Keith Ayers, Barry Stevens up in the broadcast booth. You got me.
10-4.
How you doing, and how's that car going to be for today's race?
I think I'll be okay. This is my first time driving this car in a while, so I think I'll be all right. I just got to try to keep my nose clean and take what the car can give me, and don't try to overstretch things.
Absolutely. You've got a heater of a lap coming in 3rd place overall with a 4.172, about maybe 0.2 of a second slower than Hunter Sr. in that 20 Chevrolet. But is that Ford got anything for these Chevys today?
Well, we're gonna see. I mean, we're just gonna get what we can get, and if I feel like I'm in a shot, I'm gonna try to go for it.
All right. Well, we're getting ready to start this thing up, so I'm going to move you back down to Ayersmore Racing, and good luck this afternoon with today's race.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You bet. That's Keith Ayers in number 19 machine. So as the cars line up on pit road, getting ready to do a couple of laps of pre-start, warm-up, if you will. And we see the cars running down pit road. Some beautiful looking machines here today. Keith Ayers will be first today. Michael Lovelace will be second. Second row will be Trey Smith with James Napier, then Will Moore with Scott Rush, Tanner Ensign and Dakota Henderson, Hunter Sr. with Mike Presley, Brighton Coleman with Justin Bell. So he's got a 28 on the side of his Ford. But, like I said, he'll be scored as the 19. So if you hear me say 28, it's because I'm looking on the racetrack to see him. If you hear me saying the 19, please don't be confused. Pace car is off. We're getting ready to go racing. Keith Ayers will lead him to the go line. And we're off. The 28 on the bottom, the 68 on the top. 68 gets a very good jump. Michael Lovelace to the lead. Michael Lovelace followed by Keith Ayers, Trey Smith, James Napier, and your fifth place is Will Moore. We are under caution. Looks like Dakota Henderson in the 5 car has crashed. Let's take a look and see what happened to Dakota. The 04 of Scott Rush and Dakota got into it. Let's take a look at that again. Yeah, Dakota just came up on the 04 of Scott Rush. Of course, it really doesn't matter. They're both with heavy, heavy damage now. We are on lap 2. So we have an early caution in this race, and that's mostly to do with, believe it or not, even though he did come up on the 04, these tires are, or this track is extremely hot, and we're only on lap 2. The tires have not come up to temperature yet. They're not to full grip, and he may not have just been able to turn the car as much as he wanted to. Also, these cars are also very aero dependent, meaning that if there's any air separate that is upsetting to the vehicle, it makes the vehicle act in some weird and spontaneous ways. We see the pace lights on the Ford Mustang pace car. So we've got Michael Lovelace first, Keith Ayers second, Trey Smith is third, James Napier is fourth, Will Moore is your 5th place driver. 6th through 10th is Tanner Ensign, Hunter Sr., Mike Presley, Brighton Coleman, and 10th is Scott Rush. 11th is Dakota Henderson. 12th is Justin Bell. So Dakota will come out 10th from the pits, shows Scott Rush still in the pits, and we're showing Justin Bell still in 12th position. So we're lap 3 now of 80 to go. 80 laps total, so 76 now laps remaining. We certainly hope we're not going to do this race under caution. I think once these tires get a little bit of heat in them, we'll see these drivers come to life. But cautions do breed cautions, so we do have to worry about that as the cars get clamored back together side by side now, getting ready to go racing. The lights are out on top of the pace car. Should be pulling into the pits this time around, and we'll go racing again. Michael Loveless in the 68 machine will lead them to the line. Only 14 degrees of banking here in turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So it's not a high bank track. Banking is not progressive. It stays at 14 degrees from the bottom to the top, making for a fairly easy racing surface with plenty of places to move. Pace car is off. Michael Loveless will lead him to the line. And we're going to go racing. Michael Loveless gets an early jump. Keith Ayers moves into second by himself. Third place is now James Napier. Fourth is Trey Smith. We see on the inside that 77 of James Napier comes and makes a pass for second place. The 19 of Keith Ayers moves in underneath the 77, side by side. This is for second place. And right behind him is the 1 of Trey Smith. So this is a three-way battle for second position. Michael Loveless continues. The 1 on takes a nice move to the bottom. 68 stays out front, but the 77 and the 1 are side by side almost. The 77 stays in second place. That's James Napier. Third place now is Trey Smith, and on the top is the 19th of Keith Ayers. The field comes around turn 4 onto the back stretch, coming up to lap 8. Now, like I said, Auto Club Speedway, when the track surface is this hot, makes it very, very slick. These tires are going to get used up because they will get hot. And tires and heat do not mix well. still Michael Loveless in our lead. His gap is a little bit over 0.3 of a second back to the 77 of James Napier. We see the 1 of Trey Smith in third position. Down low, seeing if he's got anything for that 77 of James Napier. Just past lap 10. Looks like the cars have started to settle down now. Definitely the tires are on their bullseye temperatures and wear. It's not going to get any better than it is right now. In fact, some of these guys, depending upon how hard they're pushing, may even be losing a little bit of tires at this point, even though we're only on lap 11. We see that gap staying about the same, about 0.3 of a second over James Napier in the 77 machine. And behind the 77 is the 1 of Trey Smith. See Trey Smith try to come down a little bit low on the 77, but the 77 will have nothing to do with that. That high line definitely is carrying some more speed at the moment. This is an asphalt track, so these grooves will groove up real good and help these cars get around these corners as the day gets going today. So this is our battle for second position. Trey Smith on the bottom, James Napier on top. Oh no! James Napier got really, really loose. And he will drop back another spot all the way back into fourth, and he's fighting with the 19 of Keith Ayers. So this is for third place now. Let's look up here in second. We see Trey Smith all alone. And above him is Michael Loveless. Michael Loveless has a gap of about a half a second or so over, well, what happened to Trey Smith there? Michael Loveless now has a gap of about 1.3 seconds. Trey Smith fell out, didn't get to see what happened to him. He obviously got loose, something happened. Well, now we're showing him back in second place. He had dropped back on the timing scorecard, but he's now running in second position. That's Trey Smith. The gap is about 0.8 of a second from Michael Loveless to Trey Smith. And then behind him is the 19 or the 28 of Keith Ayers. There's Hunter Sr. in the Home Depot Chevrolet. James Napier in that 77 Chevrolet. Here comes Dakota Henderson and that HendrickCars.com number 5 Chevrolet. Tanner Ensign in that YO Outlaw Custom Diecast Gen 4 Series car. Presley in that 000 Chevrolet. Will Moore in that 29 Ford UPS machine. Brighton Coleman in that Kodak number 40. Scott Rush in that U.S. Army 04 running in 11th place, and Justin Bell finishing out the top 12. Michael Loveless still about 0.6 of a second out front of Trey Smith. And we see Keith Ayers got a little squirrely and lost a position to Hunter Sr., who now moves up into third position. So Michael Loveless now has a gap of about 0.7 of a second over Trey Smith in second place. We are on lap 18 of 80. Coming up on lap 20 in 2 more. So we're close to getting about to 25% of the way through this race. As we see Hunter Sr. now moves into second, passing Trey Smith. It's a sharp-looking Home Depot 20 Chevrolet of Hunter Sr. He's on a mission to find Michael Loveless. Michael Loveless has a gap of a little bit over 1 second over Hunter Sr. We'll have to keep an eye on this and see if Sr. in that 20 Chevrolet has got the speed to overtake Michael Loveless. The gap is now under 1 second. So in the scheme of about 2 laps, Hunter Sr. has made up about 4/10 of a second. And then he seemed to fall back there. See Trey Smith back here in third position. He may have used up some of his tires trying to get that lead. But now let's look back up here at Hunter Sr. And Hunter Sr. with Michael Loveless. The gap is 0.7 of a second. He is definitely closing on Michael Loveless, is Hunter Sr. We're on lap 21, so we have completed 25% of today's race. You're watching the Wild West Racing League, sponsored by the Wild Outlaw Custom Diecast Gen 4 Series. Also, Redline Radio podcast. You can find Redline Radio on Spotify, weekdays. The gap now down to under 1/2 of a second between Michael Loveless and Hunter Sr. Under 1/2 a second. Wild West Racing, ride fast, race free. Wild West Racing. Once again, sponsored by the Wild Outlaw Custom Diecast. If you've got an idea for a diecast, contact Wyo Outlaw custom diecast. Make your dream a reality. We see the 20 on the bottom. The gap is now only 0.2 of a second. Hunter Sr. and that 20 is definitely catching. Michael Loveless in the 68 machine. Don't know what he's... The bottom is just does not have the speed that the top has. But Hunter Sr.'s making it work. The gap is 1/4 of a second. And it looks like Michael Loveless wiggles, gets a little loose to 20, pounces. He's right on the rear bumper of the 68. 20 was almost there. 20 goes to the bottom again. Once again, the 20 and the 68 are side by side. As they come out of 4, 68 looks like he touches the wall. Still carries the momentum, though, and carries to the line. That'll be lap 25. Will go to the 68 of Michael Loveless. So we've got quite a race here. Hunter Sr. is now in the lead. He's taken that over from Michael Loveless. Michael Loveless is fighting back on the outside. Hunter Sr. is strong on the bottom. Makes that crossover stay and stick. That 20 of Hunter Sr. in that Chevrolet is fast today. We didn't see much of him in practice, so we did not see the speed that he was carrying, but he is obviously carrying that speed here during the race. Look back into third. We see Trey Smith with Dakota Henderson on his tail. That's for third position. Go back a little bit farther and we see Tanner Ensign in the 44 looking on the outside of Michael Presley in the 000. We've got our cars coming into the pits now. So these are scheduled pit stops. We see Mike, looks like, I'm not sure if that was Mike Presley. I think he slid through his stop. There's Trey Smith. Not sure if he did either. These tires are slick though. Yeah, that's the 000 Mike Presley. He slid through and had to back up, lost a lot of time. In comes the 20 of Hunter Sr. Out front is the 44 of Tanner Ensign with Scott Rush in the 04. Tanner Ensign's coming down for pit road also. So that should bring Scott Rush, will become our new leader as we cycle through. Scott Rush is now coming down. Hunter Sr. should cycle through and become our new leader once again. Seems to be the fastest car out here on the track today. He's running third right now, but just for a moment until he passes pit road. And there he goes. So he is officially now in first place. Michael Loveless remains in second place in the 68 machine. Third is James Napier in the 77 now. Fourth is the 19th of Keith Ayers, and fifth is the 44 of Tanner Ensign. The gap is 1.5 seconds between Hunter Sr. and Michael Loveless. You can see it here. We're on lap 30 now of 80. So we can see the gap all the way back to Michael Loveless, and then back from there you see James Napier in the 77. So cars seem to be somewhat spread out now. We go back up front to our leader, Hunter Sr., who has a gap of 1.4 seconds over Michael Loveless in second place. Third place is James Napier, followed by Keith Ayers in fourth, and rounding out your top five is Trey Smith. There's Trey Smith in that number 1 car. He's having a great day running in the top 5. We know you have choices on what to watch on Tuesday nights. We are so grateful that you've chosen YouTube and the Wild West Racing League. We're here today at Auto Club Speedway, where the track temperature is 134 degrees. It's so hot outside. Temperature in the bleachers is only 79 degrees, 0 chance of rain, completely clear, severe clear skies, and a small breeze of 1 mile an hour. Today's broadcast is brought to you by the Fearless Broadcasting Network. I'm Barry Stevens. So the gap is now 1 second over Michael Loveless in second position. We see Keith Ayers in third. James Napier in that 77 Chevrolet in fourth position. There's Trey Smith. Our fifth place car. So as we go back up to James Napier in the 77, Keith Ayers coming around through turn 4 and to the back stretch. Michael Loveless. And up in front of him is Hunter Sr. That Home Depot Chevrolet is got a gap now of 1.5 seconds over Michael Loveless and his Chevrolet. So we got a Chevrolet first and second, a Ford third, and a Chevrolet for 4th and 5th. 6th and 7th are Chevrolets, 8th's a Ford, and the rest of the fields are all in bow ties. So we're on lap 36. About 4 laps to halfway. Hunter Sr. continues to increase his gap. One and a half seconds, a little bit over 1.5 seconds over Michael Loveless in second position. Keith Ayers in the 28/19. We saw the 5 get a little bit loose. The 28 goes off the racing surface but collects the car, does not bring out a caution. Some great driving there by the 19 of Keith Ayers. Drops him down to 5th position. Hunter Sr. gap is now up to 1.7 seconds over Michael Loveless. Driving the Water Wheel Foundation, number 68 Chevrolet. Third place is the 77 of James Napier. Up in front of the 77 is the 5 of Dakota Henderson. Dakota Henderson is being scored in the 10th position. One lap down. So we see Trey Smith doing everything he can to catch up to the 77. That's for 3rd position. Let's go back up front. Hunter Sr. has a gap of 1.5 seconds over Michael Loveless. Hunter Sr.'s best lap was a 41.68, not the fastest today. Will Moore did a 41.63, and right now they're running low to mid 42s. Hunter Sr. that time did a 42.40. Gap is up to 1.8 seconds. We see James Napier Getting to the back of Trey Smith. Trey Smith in third position. This is your battle here. Trey Smith doing everything he can to hold off James Napier. James Napier doing everything he can to get up to the rear of Trey Smith. Let's look back here. Tanner Ensign in sixth position in that 44 Chevrolet. The YO Outlaw custom diecast Chevrolet 44 of Tanner Ensign. So we're on lap 45 of 80. We are past the halfway mark. Unless a caution were to come out, we will be having another round of green flag pit stops. That will probably spread the field out even more. And we see the 20, Hunter Sr. get into the outside wall there just a little bit. Probably won't do him any damage. In fact, now the outside of that car looks just as good as the left side. There's James Napier on the top. He's past Trey Smith, and James Napier is in second position. Trey Smith is in third. Trey Smith is fighting back on the bottom, but I don't think he's got anything for the 77 of James Napier. James Napier's on that outside line. It's fast. But you know, Trey Smith is not a quitter, and he is not going to quit here. So as these two battle, that's letting Hunter Sr. just walk away from the two of these guys. The gap is now 15 seconds. That's all because of the James Napier and Trey Smith battling it out. Trey Smith takes back over second position over James Napier, who now moves back into third position. Trey Smith in second once again. I'd like to move away from this battle, but this is such a good race going on right here for second place. We see Hunter Sr. now with a gap of over 16 seconds as we're coming now to lap 50 with 30 to go. Now the strategies that will play out on this pit stop, should we have a green flag pit stop, will probably determine to a good degree the victor of today's race. It's all about timing on when to come in for those fresh Goodyears. If you come in too early, you can wear your stuff off a little bit quicker than those who pit behind you. However, those who pit behind you don't have the same speed as you when you first come out of the pit. So it's a strategy that these guys are having to think up and figure out and what they're going to want to do. Trey Smith has moved into second completely alone. Tanner Ensign in the 44 Chevrolet is third. James Napier is in. Mike Presley is in. So we do have some drivers coming into pit road now. We see Mike Presley. There he goes, going down to his stall. And there's the 77 back out onto the racing surface. That's James Napier. Wild West Racing. Ride fast. Race free. Join Wild West Racing. Watch them live or check them out on Discord and maybe even join. Great league, great group of guys. Hunter Sr. making that slow trek all the way down pit road. Let's see how he comes out. Tanner Ensign is now your leader. He will have to come in. We see Trey Smith coming back on after his pit stop. So Tanner Ensign will get credit for leading a lap this afternoon here at Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. Tanner Ensign. Michael Lovelace is showing second place. Michael Lovelace is almost 20 seconds back from Tanner Ensign. Let's see where James Napier is, back in 7th position now. Hunter Sr. is back up to 4th. And now 3rd as he goes around Brighton Coleman in the 40 Kodak machine. These Monte Carlos are showing some speed here today over the Mustangs. So Tanner Ensign is now down on pit road. He just ran through his pit box, had to back up. He'll lose a little bit of time there. We see the 5, Dakota Henderson, coming out of his pit box. And he'll pass the 44 on pit road. So that'll put Michael Lovelace back into the lead with about a 4-second gap over Hunter Sr. 77 of James Napier and Keith Ayers battling it out for third place. Michael Loveless coming around the turn. A little bit loose as he came by. Michael Loveless has a gap of 4 seconds over Hunter Sr. Hunter Sr. has shown on the long run to be faster than Michael Loveless. Both of these Monte Carlos are showing some exceptional speed here today, though. Opened up a little bit more of a gap, 4.4 seconds over Hunter Sr. James Napier in third, and Keith Ayers will now pass James Napier. Almost looks like the 77 let those guys go by. So the 77 will move down to fourth. Keith Ayers is in third. Hunter Sr. in second. Michael Loveless, your leader. We're lap 60 of 80, so we've got 20 to go here today on this 80-lap race at Auto Club Speedway. Wild West Racing League's been putting this on, sponsored by the Wild Outlaw Custom Diecast Gen 4 Series. Also, Redline Radio Podcast. You'll find Redline Radio on Spotify, weekdays. Second place of Hunter Sr. is 5 seconds back now. So Michael Loveless is definitely making hay in that 68 machine. Keith Ayers in third place. James Napier is still in fourth. Fifth is Trey Smith. So we've got quite a few mini races and battles going on. The one in the 44, that's for fifth place. Go back here to eighth place, we see Dakota Henderson with Bryton Coleman behind him in the 40. Michael Lovelace has a gap over Hunter Sr. now of 5 seconds. So with a 5-second gap, Michael Lovelace just needs to hit all his marks on time, on point, have good throttle control, good steering wheel control, and baby this thing to the end of this race. We're on lap 64 of 80. And we see how loose the 77 of James Napier is. He is really struggling with that Chevrolet here. Hunter Sr. still maintaining that 5-second gap up to Michael Lovelace with 15 to go. So the worst thing that Michael Lovelace could have right now would be a caution. That would group the field back up and make him have to fight Hunter Sr. for position. Hunter Sr. would love to see that caution come out so he could get side by side with Michael Lovelace and erase that almost 5-second gap now. There's Trey Smith, and really all of these guys back here would love to see. We see Trey Smith, and then behind him is Tanner Ensign in that 44 machine. Michael Lovelace continues to lead out front at just under a 5-second gap over Hunter Sr. in second position. 12 to go. There's the gap to second position. 4.8 seconds now. Not sure that Hunter Sr. has enough time to catch up to Michael Lovelace. Michael Lovelace has a gap of 4.7 seconds now. All he needs to do is stay smooth, continue to hit his marks. But it looks like Hunter Sr. is really pushing. He's gained almost 0.2 of a second with 11 to go. Gap is now down to 4.7 seconds. Hunter Sr. following and chasing Michael Lovelace, your race leader. Michael Lovelace will come in for a splash of fuel. That'll put Hunter Sr. back up into first position. Does Hunter Sr. have the fuel to finish this race? This would be an exciting development for sure. We see Trey Smith, Tanner Ensign. That's the fight for second place now. 10 to go. Hunter Sr. out front. 44 tries to get to the inside, but cannot get to the inside of the one of Trey Smith. .44 tries to go just a little bit higher, carry some momentum, and he will get a little bit beside the one. Will it be enough? Doesn't look like it. Hard to tell from this. Hunter Sr., Tanner Ensign, Trey Smith. So Tanner Ensign does make it stick. Trey Smith will now move back into third. We are on lap 71 of 80. There's Hunter Sr. Does he have the fuel to make it 8 more laps? He is not slowing down. His laps are still in the upper 42s. So he may be slowing down about 0.4 of a second. He may be trying to save fuel to get to the end. I don't know. There's Tanner Ensign. The 44 on the bottom. The 77 on the outside. 77 of James Napier is in 7th position. Showing the last car on the lead lap. So Hunter Sr., Tanner Ensign, Michael Loveless. Your top 3. Michael Loveless is back out on track. He may have stopped. We know he stopped for fuel, but he may have put on some right sides to get him back out into this battle. We see him coming up on Michael Presley. Michael Presley is the last car on the lead lap, who now goes down a lap. So 68 is going as fast as he can, but Hunter Sr. is slowed down significantly. Wondering if he's going to have the fuel to make it or not. He is now running 43s. 43.9s, almost 44. That's almost a second and a half slower than Tanner Ensign, who's in second place. But Tanner Ensign is a full 26 seconds back. 5 to go here at Auto Club Speedway. We're on lap 75 of 80. .25-second gap over Tanner Ensign in second position. Michael Loveless in third, 33 seconds back. So the question is, does Hunter Sr. have the fuel to make it 4 more times around Auto Club Speedway? We know Michael Loveless here in third definitely has everything he needs. Second place of Tanner Ensign. Gap is 25 seconds up to Hunter Sr. Now, Hunter Sr. is wrapping the bottom in 1 and 2 and in 3 and 4. And, of course, the bottom of the racetrack is the shorter way around. So if you are trying to save fuel, being along the bottom will definitely help you do that. Coming up to lap 78. There we go. The gap is 24 seconds. Tanner Ensign pushing that 44 Chevrolet to its maximum. Michael Loveless in third place, doing everything he can. We're on lap 79 of 80, so here we go. Next time by will be our white flag lap. We can remain green here. We'll have a race. Question remains, can Hunter Sr. make it all the way on the fuel that he has left? He is definitely slow at over 43 seconds a lap. He's slowed down about a second to a second and a half off of his fastest time. Here he comes for his white flag lap. Race is official. Hunter Sr. is in first, Tanner Ensign in second, Michael Loveless is third. The gap is 23 seconds to Tanner Ensign. And then Michael Loveless, the gap is just too great. Hunter Sr., what an amazing show he put on here today. Look at this. With an over 20-second gap on the field, he is your race victor. Hunter Sr., Tanner Ensign, Michael Loveless are your podium. Fourth is Dakota Henderson. Fifth is Keith Ayers. Sixth was James Napier. Seventh was the Chevrolet of Trey Smith. Eighth was the Chevy of Mike Presley. Ninth was Brighton Coleman in his Chevrolet. 10th was the Ford of Will Moore. 11th was Scott Rush in his Chevrolet. And 12th was Justin Bell. So, what a race we had here today. Sponsored by the Wild Outlaw Custom Diecast Gen 4 Series and Redline Radio Podcast. You can find them on Spotify. Weekdays, Redline Radio Podcast. We did 80 laps today at Auto Club Speedway. We had a great race. What an amazing race. "134 degrees. Amazing. It was so slick out there today. Let's bring in our runners here, our podium members. Third place was Michael Loveless. Let's see if we can find Michael Loveless. There he is, and bring him into the broadcast booth. Hey, Michael Loveless. Barry Stevens in the broadcast booth. You got me.
Yeah, I got you loud and clear, Barry.
Well, hey, how about that podium finish for you in third place? You got to be really proud of yourself and happy about that.
Yeah, strategy just didn't play out. I thought I was going to be able to twist their arm to try to get them to pit, but didn't play out into my favor, and they ran a good race and strategized well, and so congratulations to them, and I was pretty happy with the performance. I never felt like I ran the same line twice.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's a kind of track where it's so wide open and there's so many different lanes you can run. It just kind of depends on what your car wants, you know, on that given lap. And that's kind of what happens with Auto Club Speedway. Did you have to change your strategy throughout the day to get this third place finish?
Yeah, especially there at the end. I had to. Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry. Yeah, I had to change it up a couple different times and really work on finding the best line. Try to strategize with the fuel strategy of the other guys and the tire strategy. So I changed it up a couple different times, and really once I saw the fuel saving there at the end for those two other guys, uh, I knew I was in danger.
Yeah, absolutely. The run that Hunter Senior had, he just stretched that fuel run out, and he did an amazing job. And congrats to him on the victory. But for you, a third place finish, like I said, it's got to be it's a relief to come in here and to walk away with a podium for sure. Before I let
For
you,
sure.
before I
Second
let
week
you,
in a row.
yeah, exactly. And before I let you go, though, do you have any shout outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, the Water Wheel Foundation and all the awesome people that work at Meals and Wheels and volunteer their time, and so I really appreciate all of them.
All right. Well, great job tonight. We're proud of you, Michael, and look forward to seeing you next week also.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, that's Michael Lovelace in your 68 machine. Second place tonight was Tanner Ensign. Let's pull up Tanner Ensign and get him into the broadcast booth. Hey, Tanner Ensign, Barry Stevens in the broadcast booth. You got me.
Yeah, I got you, Barry. But I'm the last person you thought you'd hear in here tonight.
Well, you know what? Sometimes a fuel mileage race is a good thing, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I was trying to take a page right out of Jacob Chaffetz's book, and it was working. I mean, the car just didn't have any speed at the beginning of this thing, so I just went into fuel saver right off the bat.
Well, it seemed to pay off for you. Now, I know that probably wasn't your strategy going into the race, was to save fuel at the end of the race, but you had to adapt and overcome and see what your car wanted from you, and you did what it needed and brought it home for a podium in second place. So congratulations to you on that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I definitely didn't think that we would have a top five car. Even in practice, we weren't fast. Track was hot, slick. I just decided I was going to commit to the bottom and stay down there and save tire. And when Dakota and Scott got in that wreck there on the first corner, I was like, oh, this is my chance. If there was ever a time to save fuel, it's to do it here. And I was really hoping Hunter would run out. Unfortunately, he was able to make it around, but yeah, that I ran the first one long, ran the second one long, and knew that I could go all the way to the end there at the end. So
I got to tell you, I knew Hunter was saving fuel because there towards the end of the race, he was a full second and a half off of his earlier pace, and but he still had over a 20-something, 25-second gap on the rest of the field, so he could afford to take it that kind of slow.
yeah, he told me he crossed the line with .7 laps left, so he was getting close. Another lap and I would have had it.
Absolutely, you would have. Before I let you go, do you have any shout-outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, to all the boys over at Enzyme Motorsports, YO Outlaw Custom Diecast. We have Wire Brothers Incorporated on the hood of the car tonight. Stanford Whip Foundation, Fearless Broadcasting. My main man Barry Stevens up here in the booth, getting us in and out and showing the world what we got every night or every race, and all the guys who have joined the league and come and show up every week make it worth doing.
Absolutely. Well, Tanner, we're proud of you. You had a great run tonight, and we look forward to seeing you again same time next week. Thanks for spending the time with us up here in the broadcast booth.
Yeah, thank you, Barry.
You bet. That's Tanner Ensign in your 44 machine. So now let's take our leader, our victor today. Our victor was Hunter Sr., so let's get him in the broadcast booth. Hey, Hunter Sr., Barry Stevens in the broadcast booth. You got me.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on your victory, And I got to say, I was watching you run those laps, and I could tell you were fuel saving because you were almost a second and a half off your previous laps prior to fuel saving, and you still had about a 25-second gap though, so you had plenty of a buffer there. Was that your plan towards the end of the race, was to do just what you did?
Yeah, going into that final, or no, the second to last pit stop, it was definitely something I was thinking about. There was, in my head, I was like, there's just no way, some of those guys who pitted early can make it. And man, you've seen it. You watch those last two races where I've lost so many of these things on fuel saving and fuel strategy. And if I had $1 for every single time I lost one of these, I'd be rich. So I wasn't gonna let it happen tonight. The 68 man, if it wasn't a fuel saving race or a fuel strategy race, he was definitely gonna get it. I think he was probably the class of the field, and there were multiple times where I tried running him down, and I could tell that it was gonna come down to me and him racing for it, and I just got lucky that it was a fuel strategy race, and Jacob wasn't here tonight, so
Right.
I'd say this one was definitely a lot of luck. It
Yeah.
wasn't anything special.
Well, I'll tell you that between you and the 68, at one point he was holding you off by about a 5-second gap, and you just could not seem to close that gap. But he had to come in for fuel, and that was the big difference right there. You were able to save the amount of fuel you needed to get across that start-finish line and become the victor. I've got to ask you this, though. When you were about, you said your second to last green flag pit stop, and you came in and you thought maybe this could be a fuel saving race. Did you think that you had enough for a victory at that point, though? You knew that you could save fuel to get yourself to the end and have a very good finish, but were you thinking victory?
Yes and no. I mean, Tanner, I saw Tanner and Trey. They both pitted a lap after me. I think Tanner pitted 2 laps after me. So Tanner was in the back of my mind of, if he takes 2 and he goes out, and pushes it all the way, he could have won the race. And I was on the fence if the 68 can make it. I was saving that whole time when I was, that last pit stop, because I came out with like 26 laps left on fuel and we had like 28 to go.
Yeah.
So my first thought was that the 68, there's no way he can make it unless he was saving the whole time. And we were kind of, I was saving and the gap was kind of staying at like 4.5 to 5 seconds. So I kind of assumed he was saving, and I was like, I'll settle for a second place. This guy, he led almost all the race. Definitely earned it. I was content with the second place. And when he called it on pit road, I thought, if I run out, Tanner's most likely going to get it, and that's okay. So,
Right.
yeah, it is yes and no. I was content where I was going to finish. I'm happy to be able to pull with a win, though.
Well, that's great. Hunter Sr., we're really proud of you. Before I let you go, though, do you have any shout-outs you'd like to give?
Yes, sir. Juicy Spider, every single time, podium, I make sure to give those guys the biggest thanks. They, I won a big race this last weekend in our one of our main leagues, and it's been a great week. With those guys, we've been pushing so hard for, just excellence, and it's just every single time, we've come to these league races, we've been killing it, and those guys put so much into working with us and helping us out, and every single one of them, every person on that crew, everybody that we run with on the team is just absolutely amazing. I couldn't ask for a better group of guys to work with, and big thanks to you for the broadcast. I know I'm going to enjoy going back and watching it, seeing your reaction to a lot of the things, and have a lot of fun watching this.
Well, that's great. Hunter Sr., we're proud of you. Congratulations on the victory. We look forward to seeing you again next week at the same time. And I'm going to put you back up into the waiting room so you can celebrate with the other podium winners there.
Yes, sir. You have a good night.
Thank you. That's Hunter Sr. in your 20 machine. Okay. So today was quite a race here with the Wild West Racing League at Auto Club Speedway. We did 80 laps on a track that was 134 degrees, just incredibly hot track, and these boys made it look simple. Folks, it wasn't simple. This is a slick track, and these guys really put it down, putting these laps together. It's not an easy thing to do. A whole week's worth of practice, testing, to get to this race and to put on a show for you here tonight. Today was just a great showing by this league. Today was brought to you by the Fearless Broadcasting Network. I am Barry Stevens. Once again, we know you have choices on what to watch on Tuesday nights. We thank you that you're here as being a part of the Wild West Racing League and part of Fearless Broadcasting Network. For this afternoon, for Auto Club Speedway, for all that we have going on, we thank you that you are a part of it, and we will see you again at the same time here next week. Have a great day.